I'm Russ Kinzler. I'm the Missouri River System Supervisor based out of Riverdale, North Dakota, and I manage the Missouri River System. In particular, we're going to talk about Lake Sakakawea today. So the mountain snowpack is just slightly below average right now. There's time for that to improve and with the spring storms that could happen. So runoff is looking like we should be all right. Currently we're coming into the spring about 4.5 feet below what we were last year. If their projections are right, we could have a decent rise. They're also talking long-range forecasts are a drier summer, which could cut down on some of that runoff that we would expect. But either way, lake level should be okay. Most boat ramps should be fine this summer. Coming into this spring, we are going to see some ramps that need some silt removed. So we're going to have to ask anglers to be patient until that gets done. But overall, our access should be pretty good this summer. Walleye is king on Lake Sakakawea. That's what the bulk of our anglers fish for. Walleye population's looking good. Our overall numbers increased last summer. We have a lot of young year classes coming into the system. There should be really good numbers in that 14 to 20 inch range. So that eater size fish that everybody wants. There should be good numbers of those fish out there. There's also going to be a good number of small fish coming in. Our 2023 year class was the second strongest that we documented in history. And those fish are going to start entering the fishery this summer. So there could be those small fish that kind of pester the anglers that are not quite big enough that they want to keep them yet. And then there's also the trophy aspect, the bigger fish, and there should be good numbers of those out there as well. Pike numbers have been down since we came out of the last drought. We had a really big year class, and those fish have aged out of the population. We do see natural reproduction most years. We actually have a year class coming in from 2023. They're smaller, that 1.5 pound, 2 pound stuff that you're going to see a lot of those in what you're catching right now. But there are trophy size fish out there as well. Our pike numbers are just below our long-term average, so there's good fish out there. It's just not what it was 10 years ago. Our smallmouth bass numbers seem to continually increase every year. They're kind of new in the history of the fishery. I mean, when you look long-term, they've been in there, decades, but their numbers seem to keep increasing. We have a good size class of fish out there, that 10 to 12, 14, 15 inch fish. So there's a potential for trophies out there, but just lots of them fish that nice size fish, fun to fight. So our salmon numbers are always kind of a guess coming into the year. If we look at last year, we had a really good salmon fishing season last year. Our size increased a little bit. We had been concerned about that for many years. We think the main reason for that is we actually had a year class of Cisco that was produced. And those fish, there was enough of them that they actually stunted, which allowed our salmon and probably even our walleyes and other predators to feed on them for a longer time before they outgrew. They were too big as prey item. Our smelt also size increased a little bit last year, so that all helps in producing bigger salmon, bigger walleyes. So going into this year, we think we should have decent numbers of salmon out there, and hopefully they are even a little bit bigger this year, but time will tell. The fish are out there. There's a good number of walleyes, there's hopefully good numbers of salmon, lots of smallmouth in the system, so fishermen should have a good time out there if the fish cooperate.